get started. My name is John Anderson. Thank you so much for coming this evening. So, everyone is in business or is thinking about going into business. I think actually everyone is in business or fast approaching it. And we're going to be looking at a number of main areas today. We're going to look at finance. And when we look at finance, we're going to be looking broadly at analysis, the analysis of a business. Now, one of the main ways that we analyze a business is through the finances, through the numbers. But there are other ways, and we're going to talk about those other ways today briefly. Then the next part we're going to talk about is the management and the systems and the best practices, your methods. What do you do when the phone call rings and when you answer the call? How do you answer that call? When the customer then comes in to visit with you, how do you speak with the customer, or how do your employees speak with him? And what are the procedures? How do you listen to what the customer is saying to determine what the customer really needs so that you can give them the product or the service that most closely meets their needs, so that you can get the highest possible customer satisfaction and that you can do it as efficiently and as effectively as possible so that you've got a profit at the end. Then the third area that we're going to look at is marketing. And the reason we're looking at finance and systems first before we look at marketing is because if you just focus on marketing and you expand your business and you grow the revenue and you grow the number of customers that are coming in and doing business with you, and you haven't tracked the numbers and you're not tracking your numbers, and you haven't enabled your systems to be able to scale up and scale down, then you're inviting trouble. Because as more customers come, as the volume grows, then all those secondary systems that are critical, that you have in place to meet those customer needs, you're not going to be able to address them as quickly as you need to, because you're going to be filling needs. And the customers are going to be calling, and the phone is going to be ringing, and you're going to be having to do production work at a time when you are needing to scale up and to develop the very systems that you're using. So that's why before we do marketing, the first thing that we do is we look A, at the numbers, and then B, at the systems and the methods. So that you, as you grow the business, you're growing all the different segments of your business at the same time, and that you have controlled growth and not just reckless, out of control growth. Remember, more businesses die from uncontrolled growth, from growing too quickly, than from growing too slowly. Slow growth is one of the better ways to go. It's not what most of us entrepreneurs want. We want fast growth. We want it today. We don't want to wait. But it's only when we have slow, controlled growth that you're going to not only be able to increase your revenue, but increase your customer satisfaction and increase your net profit. And that's what you're doing this for. This is not a hobby. This is a business. Okay. So in our introduction, we're using the theme of a nautical theme. So steer your trading galleon to the rewards you deserve. Smart ships have dependable power and navigation tools to avoid the reefs littered by ships that stray off course and into dangerous territory. For thousands of years, explorers on sailing vessels traded goods from port to port, never leaving sight of land. The early maps and star charts that enabled them to cross oceans gave way to the compass and sextant, and then to radio, radar, and global positioning satellites. Sail and wind power were replaced by steam, diesel, and nuclear fuels. What era of technology are you depending upon? What is the risk to your vessel and crew? Because that's what your business is. It's like a sailing galleon. And you see, if you have some fun with it, you know, it's so easy for our businesses to become overwhelming to us, you know. And when we've been working 6 days a week, 7 days a week, and we're working 8, 10, 12, 14 hours a day, and we go to sleep, and we wake up the next day, and we do it again and again, you know, that gets to be daunting. So you gotta lighten up, you gotta see some fun in it to keep the spark going, because without that enthusiasm and spark, It just gets to be a job and no fun. And it reduces your ability to have creative energy with it. So, let's see, what is the risk to your vessel and crew? Can you deliver your cargo and fulfill promises to your clients, stakeholders, and family? These are challenging times, to be sure. Do you want your vessel and your venture to survive, thrive, or sink? You may have a smartphone, as many of us do now, but do you have a smart ship with a capable captain and crew? And you folks here tonight, you're the captains. So it's up to you to pick who's on your crew and what is the level of technology that you're using for your business. I want to invite you to consider yourselves as venture capitalists from this day forward. If you can, it will reshape how you look at your business. Don't blindly spend a huge investment in hours that you could otherwise spend with your family. And don't you waste or risk your hard-earned dollars and savings and credit sources to take big, uncalculated risks. A venture capitalist invests money and frequently business expertise to make a good business idea a practical working reality. Traditionally, venture capitalists bring money and expertise to an entrepreneur who has a business or is beginning a business but realizes he or she needs help beyond his or her means. I invite one part of you, the realist in you, to be the venture capitalist, to help another part of you, the entrepreneur with a dream. Venture capitalists typically have a cardinal rule. They will not go into a deal, they will not sign a contract, they will not put money in, they will not give expertise until they have a clear written plan of exactly how they're going to exit that business, and in many cases, how the owner is going to exit. Because they know that the only way they're going to get their money out is when the owner gets their money out too. So it's only when the business is able to be scaled up. Now, frequently this is if you do an IPO, you know, a venture in which you sell stock or something like that, or you can sell to a larger enterprise. But by having the idea that at some date you find a calendar, you know, 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 15 years from now, you put a date on the calendar, 12/31/2020 or 2015, and say, that's the day I'm selling the business and I'm retiring and getting my sailboat or getting my motorhome or getting my motorcycle or whatever it is that's your dream, and you're going to make that day. Now it's up to you. You can change that day. If you want to make it 5 years earlier, 10 years later, that's up to you. But by the very fact that you make a date on a calendar, and then right after you say, how much money do you either have to have or do you want to have on that day, you know, cash or near cash investments, so that when you retire, you've got the funds to support yourself and you've got the funds to be responsible for your loved ones. So that all goes into the idea of being a venture capitalist, because otherwise, small businesses are like owning a farm. And you all know that in a farm, the work never ends. It just goes on and on. You know, you can work from sunrise to sunset. Here we are. Excuse me. Okay, great. So, turn the page. Does everyone have a workbook? Ah, okay. Great. So, 2.0. Now, there is more in this workbook than we're going to be able to cover tonight. I just want to let you know we're going to move quickly with it. So, the first question here, this is analyze. This is the analysis section. Current course, navigation, and guidance. We know, where is the ship right now? Where is it? Is it at anchor? Is it at sea? Are you adrift? Is the motor running? What's going on for you in your business? So take out a pencil and just jot down in 1 minute, no kidding, 30 seconds to 45 seconds, just jot down, what is your business? You know, I'm a plumber, I'm a publisher, I'm a web designer, you know, I'm an SEO expert. What is it that is your business? Just in a few words.